Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to News from the Pew. The internet happens, and we're here to talk about it. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Advent season because it is. And
Humbug.
yes, it is not Christmas time yet. And if you talk it like it is Christmas time, then you shall be shunned. But that's okay. We have a good night for you here, as it seems like everything is falling apart right at the end of the year. Just perfect way to set all that up. But it is good to see you all. I am here joined as always. Of course, it's like 20 minutes before my bedtime, so I'm glad Steve decided to finally show up and actually do the show so I can fall asleep halfway through it, but that's okay.
Get your beauty sleep in after.
Dude, look at me. Obviously, I need every single ounce of it, especially since my little 13-year-old dog is starting to get a little bit there where she's waking me up at like 2 in the morning to go out and stuff like that. So it's like now I know what parents feel like. I mean, very, very minimally when they get woke up. So yeah, it is
I'm
what it
pretty
is.
much used to that now. It was
Yeah,
funny
I
when
mean,
when the baby was sleeping. He would wake up her for feeding. Now that he's moved out, he wakes me up now at 2 in the morning and yelling, "Daddy!" And she never hears it. I do it. I get up and go get it.
yeah, I'm a light sleeper as well. So my wife doesn't hear the dog, so it's like okay. I will go and take care of it. So that's obviously, folks, you don't have to worry about that. You all have your own struggles and things like that to deal with, but
The struggle was real.
that's just me dropping stuff. It's okay. It happens more often than you would think. I just didn't mute it. But it's good to see you all, and we are going to be talking about a load of things tonight. There's some things on the thumbnail that we didn't talk about. Republicans in Indiana don't want to think locally and act locally. They just want to make sure that they are slaves to the federal machine, and they want to make sure everybody, gets a fair shake. Everybody gets to participate in Indiana. They're very nice about that. So we'll talk about that. The economy still is not very good. This is the first time housing has gone negative in a couple years, probably a decade plus. I don't know the exact date, but this is the first time the housing market has actually turned negative. So we're not doing well on that front. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's okay because we are going to just bomb the what out of Venezuela, and that's going to make everybody really, really excited because you know what? We really like war, and war is a lot of fun to talk about because it makes us feel good as Americans to know that we can just bomb the crap out of anybody at any time, or we can take over their ships like we did the other day. We actually stopped a Venezuelan tanker that was taking oil to Iran. We were just like, you know what? We're going to be like the Somali pirates now. We're just going to stop this stuff. And the only reason I say that, folks, is because I thought we were going after the Venezuelans for the drugs. Right, Steve? We were going after the Venezuelans at first because they were smuggling fentanyl, which there is a little bit of truth in that. But I'm glad we've just upgraded it to like, nah, we're just going to bomb them. We're just going to like take their stuff and get the oil because that's really what we want. I told you all, if you watched last week, I had my reasons why I think Trump is trying to set up the U.S. as a more Monroe Doctrine focused country in a post superpower world that the U.S. is probably going to be in the next 4 to 5 years by 2030, obviously. But, bunch of things I just kind of scattershot there. Steve, which one do you want to take? Which one do you want to pick at? I was just like, wah! I kind of vomited it all out.
I mean, the pirates. I mean, it's just fun seeing them going after. Trump was asked, what happened with the Venezuelan ship? I guess we're going to keep their oil. Oh, so you guys are the good pirates. There's bad pirates and there's good pirates. So these are the good pirates. It's okay to pirate.
We're Jack Sparrow. We're Jack Sparrow.
Yes, it's actually virtuous to be a pirate if you have a red hat. If there's another pirate, then they're bad pirates. They must be killed, gored, dismantled, dismembered, head taken off, all that. Us, we get trillions of dollars for it or whatever, which is kind of, speaking of trillions of dollars, I think I'm glad I segued into that. Trump is saying he's got trillions and trillions coming in. You brought up the economy part. Have you seen the nickel of those trillions? I mean, my wife was talking
money
about,
to me. Anyway.
She goes, you know how much shoes are at Target now? It's $30 for kids' shoes, up like from $15 to $30. Why? Oh, because of those tariffs. Those must be that trillions of dollars that we're getting back as consumers somehow. Yet we're
Listen,
paying more. I don't know. Somebody's getting rich, but it ain't me.
I'll say this: if you have any major construction or anything that you want to get done, try to get it done in the next 3 weeks because wood and all that kind of stuff is going to go absolutely through the roof starting next year because of the tariffs. So you know what? If you wanted a wood deck, you might want to get it done as quickly as possible, unless you're happy with composite decks, which are beautiful. Composite decks are fine, and there's nothing wrong with composite decks. But I know some people are more of like real wood. Yeah, you want to get that done as soon as possible because
Yeah, I look forward in a couple of weeks to see how bad it gets. Not that I want to get bad, but they're saying it's going to be sunshine and lollipops, and you're going to be actually like pooping ice cream and all things. I don't see that. They're all. I mean, the whole thing about your return is going to be higher, and you're going to get the $2,000 from the $5,000 check that we'll get, the stimulus check, our version. I don't see it. Hey, everything's just going down. I mean, yeah, gas is finally here. I saw it earlier. It's 240 down from 290 from 2 weeks ago. So gas has gone down. I don't know how or why. Maybe it's because they're trying to get it at the end, or maybe trying to set up for the midterm for what, I don't know. Food still hasn't gone down. I mean, went to the grocery store for I got 3 bags and it was $70. There's nothing in these bags. It's not like I went over and got the top of the line, the top shelf or anything. I don't know how people that barely getting by, how they're getting by. I mean, like I said, it's not like high-end shoes are, except I haven't bought beer, Brian, in God knows how long. I mean, you get I can't do Bush or Miller or anything like that anymore from having the real stuff. So I mean, to get the good local stuff, it's $30 for a 12-pack or something like that. And booze is high too. I mean, the only booze I bought was tinctures, and I wait for those to get on sale. And usually vodka is pretty cheap, even though I should be able to learn how to make my own vodka someday.
You'll get there. Your days of moonshining will come.
Yeah. I mean, but it is darn. For them to say all this time, oh, the economy is so great, it's star-spangled awesome. You have to be a special kind of idiot to believe all that, especially if you actually live in the real world.
Yeah, anybody who's saying the economy is good is living off government contracts or well off to begin with. Everybody else is not. Everybody else is struggling.
We forgot to bring this up the last week about Odell Beckham Jr. You know, he talked about it. He couldn't tell how anybody live off $100 million. So, I mean, none of us make $100 million. We should be eating our arms right now, right?
I mean, just give me $1 million. I'll make it work. You know, it's
100 million, man. It doesn't go as far as it used to.
I will say this about athletes: you hand a 21, 22-year-old kid $100 million. First of all, depending on where he plays, if he plays in New York, that's federal, state, and local city eating that. Plus, if you don't know this, a player, they have to file taxes in every state they play.
Every state.
So if you live in the Northeast and you got to play like Philadelphia, New York, Washington, D.C., they're going to be eating that contract. So granted, it's still a ridiculous amount of money, but they don't teach these people any kind of financial advice. They don't
teach them. It's like a day class, but
nobody's paying attention because they're looking on their phones like, all right, I'm gonna buy this Bentley, I'm gonna buy this house. Like, they're not paying attention.
Especially when college now, even high school, you get paid to play. I mean, there's a guy here in Cramerton. If anyone wants to look at where Cramerton, North Carolina is, you blink and you drive past it. It's got one stoplight type deal thing. He plays for the Tampa Bay Rays as a pitcher. Goes to the gym, man. Multi-million-dollar contract, has a house that's probably about $200,000. That was before, and that's probably is now 400 in Cramerton. And then on the opposite side, you had Christian McCaffrey, who was here for a couple years. He bought like a $28 million home off Lake Norman. And they got traded. And it was just him and his girlfriend in a 50-room, $28 million thing. So, when you hear about them going, I don't feel sorry for you. If you're that stupid to buy something that big, well, you don't know 28 people to live with.
Right.
It's fine. But yeah, no, there's, I mean, I get the taxes part of it, but it's the guys that they just spend it out of the wazoo. There's a documentary called Broke that
Yeah,
goes through all that.
that's one of the best 30 for 30s ever done was Broke,
Yeah,
because
that was a good one.
they just chronicle all the stuff, the hangers on, the girls, the baby mamas, all that
The
kind of stuff.
Lions.
Yeah, they're all coming for a piece. They're
Mhm.
all for a piece, and these, they're young. They think it's going to come forever. That's a problem. When you're 22, you think the money's always going to be there, and
Yeah,
then
even the games. I mean, how much is a ticket to go to a game? I'm surprised anybody can afford to go to those things anymore. But yeah,
yeah,
everything's up. Everything's high.
the rent is too dang high. But yes,
G money.
yeah. Well,
Woo!
anything with Flair. Anything with Ric Flair is going to be the best. That's not even fair to say at that point. But
He's
yeah,
automatically the thing of the week for just bringing that up.
yeah, it's right. That's absolutely right. But it's the economy is teetering. Post Christmas, I think January, February is going to be a rough time for a lot of people. Because that's usually a rough time of the year, post Christmas bender for secular society. But it's going to be challenging, especially when these tariffs they're going to get the double whammy of the tariffs as well.
And
So
don't
it'll be
what cut 0.25%. So the emperor's not excited about that, and
no.
there's
He's
and then if you then throw in war. I mean, and not just one. I mean, if multi wars are. Was it right now? I think it was. Let me see. I can't remember. I think I just saw that. Yeah, here's one from generals singing in their masses, just like witches.
nice.
New York Times editorial board urges U.S. to prepare for future war with China. To prepare for a war.
I don't know.
It's Black Sabbath.
I honestly think that the U.S. would just let them have Taiwan at that point. I don't think they would risk actually going into a major war with them.
I don't know. How about speaking of? Did you see this stuff?
Probably. Oh, is it Petey? Oh yeah. I sent you that.
Oh yeah. That's right. You did.
I because as soon as I saw that, I said, Steve's right again.
Great.
Oh man.
Great googly moogly, dude.
Yeah.
You sent me that. I played it. I didn't play it until I lit on Clown Planet yesterday, and I just start cracking up. It's Sky. It's literally Skynet.
It's just we're gonna make our fighters better because we're gonna have the best AI. And I get it, folks. I understand the people who make the argument. If we don't do it, the Chinese will do it, and the Russians will do it, and everybody else will do it. We're past that point. There's no stopping it or no saying no to it. But I think everybody should at least take a moment to realize that Skynet by any other name is Skynet, and so I'm glad you guys welcomed our tech overlords as quickly as possible.
Yeah, no, I remember. Like I said, I remember vividly driving a guy. There was a tech guy in Uber to the airport in Denver. I was on the toll road with him, and about 3/4 of the way there, he started telling me, because the only thing that Terminator got wrong was that it was a private industry.
Yeah.
And he goes, what's in real life, it's going to be a government entity doing this. That was, I think it was 2018 when he told me that, 2017, 2018. How right he was.
Yep. I mean, that's the problem with the left-right argument about communism. How everybody's like, we need to have Republicans in to stop communism and all these things. It's like, you're watching it right now under Republicans, the merger of the left of the private public sector. I mean, it's been around since Nixon really kind of ushered it in with healthcare, back under his administration when he started dabbling with that. But yeah, just like with the CBDC and just like with the vax and just like with everything else, it's always the private sector doing the bidding of the government. So that way they can say, well, the government's not doing it. It's a private industry. I'm a private industry, and capitalism is taking care of this. And it's like, well, okay, well, the government's also super funding it. As I always joke with people, Amazon is not a $1 billion company because it sells my books.
Yeah.
Amazon is a $1 billion company because it runs the cloud for all the military contracts.
Yep. And then now that cloud has got Ring, Flock all working on it to spy on everyone 24/7. Uploaded on. You can't go now. The used to be the digital ID to go through an airport was voluntary because you could just buy the clear pass and look in the retina scan and get through it. Now it's a fine of was a $45 fine or something like that, and then eventually it will be mandatory just to do anything.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming because it's going to come off of the backs of an economic crash. It's going to be a perfect
Catholic
setup.
Vote yesterday. You see there, I've never, friends don't let friends watch Catholic Vote news.
No.
And they were talking about the Australian digital ID or not the ban on kids looking on
the social media ban. I did.
Which again, we've mentioned this a couple months ago. Said, hey, it's a good feel good thing, but that's a little way to get that digital ID in. Catholic Vote, guys. I can't wait for that to come here. I hope it comes here. You guys will be in. We're applauding our own demise.
Yeah. Instead of having parents and actually trying to limit the family, using the family to limit social media time, it's just run to the government. Just run to the government.
1,000% on that. Where's the parents at? Hey, there's a ban on 16-year-olds from getting Facebook. Okay, why is that a problem? Should the parents be? Why is the parents even giving a 13-year-old a cell phone to begin with? Who's he calling? Who is she calling? And then you're going to give them Twitter and Facebook on? You're a special kind of, to give your kid this 12, 13, 14 access to a smart a computer like that they can do anything they want. Then you're going to give them social media. And now you're upset that a government is. Now you want government to ban it. You can't do your own job as a parent. You want the government to be daddy. And when government becomes daddy, he's going to be daddy to you too.
Yeah. It's, because you can't control your kid. You want the government to control your kid, which is just the dumbest solution. I mean, for a long time, you see the dumb phones that you could get for kids. They're just the flip phones. If you really think your kid needs a phone for emergencies, you get them something like that. When I used to work at Radio Shack way back in the day, we used to have the old folk. It was just like, it was this big, but it was like a flip phone, and you could put 3 numbers in it, and that was it. That was the only thing you could do. It's like, you get a kid like that, you get a phone for that, but no, because parents are not around, because they both have to work or they're divorced or whatever the case may be, they figure this materialism will help make up for the fact that the kids don't have a solid family home. So
I remember seeing, when I was a personal trainer in Columbia, I remember seeing one of the ladies that came in, and their kid, I think he was like 8, and he walked in with a cell phone. This was back in the late double aughts. And it was kind of, remember Mallrats? That kid's on the escalator again. And it's like me, why does that kid have a cell phone? That kid's phone was better than mine. I had one of those little flip phones they had to hit, like if you went C, you had to hit A, B, C to get to C.
Yeah. Oh, but that was better. You could do it by memory. You could text by memory. You didn't actually have to look at the phone, and it wouldn't misspell.
Oh, I know. I remember doing that. I could do the no look text very easily.
Yep.
I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio had to do it or save his butt over in
in The Departed. Yep. I just watched that the other day. I had to stop watching it because VidAngel is going to be in my cry room. I have it, and it doesn't work for any of the stuff I use on Amazon. It doesn't.
I haven't seen it. It's on VidAngel now.
If it's on Amazon, you can use it through VidAngel, right? Through their Prime.
Yeah. Sometimes the movie's not there. You have to request it. Maybe sometimes like the part of that. Last time I looked, it wasn't on there. So I was gonna have the wife watch it because she's like, I've never seen it. I go, you gotta watch this, but we can't watch it regularly.
You can't watch a regular one. It's awful. I just watched it. I watched about the first 40 minutes. I went, I gotta stop. Yeah. Martin Scorsese and his anti-Catholic bends are just, talk about a guy who hates being Catholic.
You got to practice on the VidAngel though. That's it's a skill. You got to get the right the drop downs to make sure you hit the right things off and all that. Then you'll be good
at a stupid app. You can't do it. You have to do it on the app.
No. There's an app on the TV. We got the TV app.
Okay, I guess I have to get the TV app. Yeah.
Much easier.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm trying to watch Landman with it, and it's not working yet. But it's because you can do Amazon and then link up all the shows that are So I'm trying to use that. I'd like to use it. I'd really like to use it, but
that's the only way I can watch Landman is if I put all the filters on and
all of them, every single filter there is. You got to put them all there, man.
We'll laugh. We'll just go through it sometimes and just see all the filters. Like, holy cow, this is 500 filters. And then there's some that have like 3.
Yes, there is. Trust me.
There's a great series on it for the kiddos. We watch it a lot. The Old New Testament is a cartoon series, and the kids love it. They'll go in. I want to watch the Old Testament. I want to watch the New Testament. It's about 25 minutes and whatever section is. The funny part about it is there are filters for those.
Really?
It's like 3, like David slews Goliath. Filter guy getting killed by a stone.
Well, you don't want to see the kids see that. That would be traumatic.
Yeah. Well, we make sure that filter's on. It's still
Yeah.
No. We let them watch that. You get to see if they were to chop the soda off and be like, hey, can we have that in
3D? Speaking of, we didn't talk about this, but the merger between, or the potential merger between Netflix and Warner Brother. If you are a person that values classic movies, it's time to hit Amazon or Best Buy and grab as many. If the deal goes through with Warner Brothers, with Netflix, there's some saying that they're not. There's some stuff. There's some political things going on behind the scenes. But if Netflix does manage to acquire Warner Brothers, you need to grab as many physical copies of all your favorite movies from there. I mean, I looked at a list the other day. There's actually it was like 15 movies, 20 movies like that I have, just getting physical media, because Netflix has a nasty habit of deleting, altering, doing all that kind of stuff. So if you're a movie buff and you value the original cut of films, you need to go grab either DVD or Blu-ray. I didn't even know 4K exists. I haven't had them in so long, but you need to grab something, because if Netflix does buy it for whatever amount of money it is, they're going to just hack that company to bits, because tech companies are now going to run Hollywood within the next 5 years, right? It's going to be Amazon, Apple, Netflix, doing even Paramount's run by a tech bro in the Ellisons. So they're all just kind of doing this. And speaking of which, it's very interesting that today or yesterday, it was announced that Disney has now partnered with OpenAI. It's a $1 billion deal that hands over control of their characters. Who's been talking about this? Me. We have on this program talking about the fact that the future for content, quote unquote, will be you logging into Disney or whatever and going to the creator corner and just saying like, Disney AI, make me a movie, make me a Star Wars movie with Spider-Man and the Hulk going on an adventure with Han Solo, and it'll make it for you. And that's going to be the future of quote unquote film. Now there'll still be, human made movies, but they'll just be like vinyl records or Broadway, right? Broadway has a hardcore niche, musical theater has a hardcore niche, but most people don't care about it. Vinyl records have a hardcore niche, but most people don't care about it. Zach Levi on Timcast one time, he was on there. He's like, yeah, we're gonna have movies with made by 100% free range humans, right? That's his thing. With free range humans, you'll have those made, but they won't be anything more than just kind of niche events. And so this is the thing we've all been talking about, or everybody in the industry has been talking about. And it's crazy, Steve, because what did the writers and the actors just 2 years ago? They did the strike to prevent AI. And now Disney's like, by the way, here's $1 billion AI to just do all this stuff anyway.
Yeah. And part of you is like, it couldn't happen to a better group of people in Hollywood. And then you're like, well, again, that's why people, who is it? The was it Mr. Wonderful brought up saying that whoever can harness AI movie making and storytelling is going to make millions and millions out there. So anybody out there wants to give it a shot, I'm not. I mean, I've made a couple short films, but nothing. I don't have the creative genius of writing a story or anything like that. You can pretty much do that. There, I've made a couple kid music videos. Pretty easy.
Yep.
They're just 2 minutes long, and it's good feature. It's not like it's wonky. It's solid. So if this idiot can pull off something like that, imagine what guys with talent can do.
The thing with creating a high grade movie, right, quote unquote quality movie with AI is you have to essentially upload a script that says like fade in, top of the building, through the front door, or whatever the case. You have to give it the step-by-step directions, and then it can kind of harness it.
And you got to get the top layer thing. I got a friend of mine that has the top tier AI stuff.
Yeah. You can't use what we have.
Oh yeah, it is insanely cool that what stuff he's doing. He's telling me, he goes, it's taking me 8 hours to do something that would take me 20 weeks with a team of people. And this guy is he's a computer geek.
Yeah. I was I had an interview with a guy named John Slaughter on the Barrett Breakdown channel. Really good guy. Southern gentleman from Alabama, Catholic convert that I ran into, or I found out mid-interview. And we talked a little bit about AI, and I always bring up the point, hey, AI could give potential people like us an opportunity to make films, right? We could make our own. We could take the Bible and just, you could get as many stories. You could have an entire series on the book of Job. You could literally have like
a Job movie or a book movie on Gideon, things like that. That'd be fantastic.
It would be. I mean, we have the opportunity, and John made a good point. He's like, it's going to do what Amazon self-published did for books. It's going to give an opportunity for nobodies or people that would never get into the industry at least a shot to make it. Now, if anybody sees it, he said you're going to have to do your own marketing in that regard, but it's going to give you that. But I've always said that AI, yes, it's scary. It's going to destroy jobs. It's going to do a bunch of things, but it could also give us the tools to make there's so many stories in the Bible that we could just make and have a content library like any known. You could actually do all the books in the C.S. Lewis series. I know there's a bunch of books they haven't adapted. I know they're going to pervert the Narnia movie by Greta, whatever her name is, the lady who directed Barbie. She's making one for Netflix, and she said it's not your grandmother's Narnia. So we're like, oh, good, it's all fake and gay, fantastic. So Aslan's going to be a trans poodle, and that's how he's going to, he's going to be that instead. He's a poodle that identifies as a lion. That's how it's going to be.
The Taco Bell dog.
That's right. Yo quiero Taco Bell, white witch. But we have an opportunity. We have so many good Catholic authors and Christian authors out there that have made good stories that we can do. And yes, there's a lot to fear about AI, but on that front, I think we should embrace it because it gives us a chance to really be able to pass down these stories.
Me and AI, we're BFFs anymore. I mean, I know it's Skynet, and Sarah Connor's already called me saying, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Hey, it's working. I need to get this fixed." I was like, nobody else has helped me out. And actually, there was an update on it the other day. Would you like it to be more professional, more carefree, with more fun? I just keep it standard. I mean, I'm cool with the personality.
Easy. We're not there yet. If it's too professional, people are going to find out that I'm using AI. So let's keep it this way.
Would you like it to talk to you?
Right, like me. Make sure you misspell a couple words in there, just so people know it's my IP.
Yeah, I mean, I use that thing for almost anything anymore. I just stopped trying to overthink it. Like, I don't know how to fix this. Like the other day, there was a book on Census Fidelity and Press. It wasn't getting out there because it said the cover didn't have an embedded text in it. I have no idea what that means. And the guy at Bookvault sent me the thing. This is how you fix it up. I'm looking at it. I try it. Doesn't work. I'm going, come on. I went, let me ask my good friend Skynet. Let me see. Hey, there's Skynet. Do you understand what this means? Can you help me out? I can do that for you. What do you need done? I can embed it. Send me the thing. Send it to him. And I go, oh, now I just need to get it to this size. Perfect. I'll upload that and send it to me. Bam, bada bing, got done in 3 minutes.
Yep.
Like, you know what?
You
I
know,
go, and I tell you, because anything else you need me to do? I go, sure, I'll get back to you when I need some book
yeah.
covers done for you. You just hold on there.
Yeah, you just wait. You sure you can't make me a sandwich since you're working on it?
Can you go pick up the dry cleaning while you're out there too?
Right? We're getting close with that stuff, with the Waymos and those kinds of things, with the electric fleet.
Did you see that story the other day about the Waymo and the baby being delivered?
No, I saw a story about a Waymo driving through an active police scene, but I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah. There was a Waymo called 911 to let them know that something different activity was happening in the car. They ended up having a kid in the car, and at the end of it, the question went, "Timeout." It was like, "Hey, in the back, how did that thing know?" Because they say, it's not spine, it just takes you from here to here. But it noticed there was a different activity going on in the car, notified the police during it, and emergency services to come out to help out, and found out baby. And it was like, that's cool. How did the Terminator know?
Well, I mean, the easiest answer to that, or I would hypothesize, Steve, that there's cameras on the back seat, and the cameras have sensors attached to them, and they read a different. Yeah. I mean, I have a stupid heart monitor on my watch, and I actually found out last week when I had a little 24-hour stomach bug, and I knew I was getting sick, Steve, because I looked at my watch and my heart rate at the beginning in the morning was like 89. My standing heart rate's like 80, 89, whatever, and I looked down, it was 121, and I was like, okay, well, that's weird. And so
I thought it was because you saw a big new gun that came out or something.
Oh, that probably happened. Yeah, I probably did see the gun, but it's ammo. That's what happens with me. I'm a little bit of an addict, but that's okay.
Click this button, you get a howitzer. Holy cow!
Yeah, yeah. Well, Kyle, it's just that Steve and I just keep our eye on what's going on. I mean, I don't even do it as much because I don't do a daily show anymore, but I still kind of passively keep my eye on stuff. Especially in the entertainment industry, because I am a big movie buff, so I want to see what the entertainment industry is doing in that regard. But it's
it's the 4IR, it's the fourth industrial revolution we talked about for the last 4 or 5 years. Hopefully Leo comes out with something on it a little bit better than what he did a little while ago. It wasn't bad, but still wasn't about the 4IR in a sense. That's the big thing that everyone's going to be. It's going to be hurting people when Elon comes out saying everyone's going to have a neuro chip in their head. When Elon comes out saying all the jobs are going to go to AI, 70% of the jobs are going to be gone. When they say the UBI is coming in, that's the issues that are coming up right now with the surveillance beyond the surveillance state on steroids coming out. The EU, basically the new flag of the EU's with the 12 stars, 13 stars, whatever, with cameras on. I mean, they got cameras in London coming out right now that's ungodly, terrifying, and the dystopian idea of things. And there's some stuff coming down the pike all over the place. That's just asinine. Illinois is okay. Illinois have people that can't wait to get the digital ID. They are mad that they can't sign up. There's a little story on it saying that people are contacting Illinois. What? Give me my digital ID. And the response back is you have to wait a little bit. Do you want us to notify you when we can get you on the program again? Because there's so many people wanting to go that it actually shut down, overwhelmed the system. Going, we're done. I mean, these people are actually they're wanting to give me my digital ID.
Well, that leads great into this question from G Money. What's the goal? You got to remember, G Money, that 5/8 of that population, they want this. They want to be unemployed. They want to be hanging out watching Netflix all day. They want to be in their house having DoorDash deliver them slop and just wasting away, because they have essentially been taught that since the 2000s was the beginning of it. But we've lost any kind of emphasis, which is why it's great they have organizations like the Catholic Land Movement out there trying to really inspire at least Catholics to get back to the land and work the land. And then you have Steve, who will send you every picture of his garden, which is very inspiring, by the way, about all the stuff he's growing. And I still look at my pigeon coop and not my quail coop. I'm like, I'm going to get it. I'm not going to do it now. It's winter. I'm not putting quails there. But the idea is that they want the population docile. They want the population controlled. And they want the population to just exist. I mean, the real thing, and this is really conspiratorial, I'm just tossing out there, is population reduction. On top of that, they want to reduce, because they've been saying this for population overpopulated, killing remember when back it was like, oh, it's killing the climate. Since most people are like, that's stupid and silly. Now they don't give you that argument unless you're a blue-haired wackadoo. Now it's just, oh, well, go home and waste away. Don't repopulate and chase after cardinal pleasures all day and just live your best life in pursuit of all these things. And most people, we go to the lesser good, as Father Ripperger would say. We go for the lesser good, and we will just kind of waste away if given the opportunity, which is why one of the 7 deadly sins, Steve, is sloth. It's one of them for a reason, because you waste the gift of life. And so it's just, there's a lot of stuff here, Colin, that's going there.
Yeah, I mean, they 5/8 population unemployed, maybe higher, because then the higher they go, the more they're on the government teat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the UBI. They want Elon's all for the UBI. Everyone, well, take that back. Everybody that's in centralized politics right now wants UBI.
Mm-hmm.
Even local levels. San Francisco 4 years ago did a UBI flight test.
Yep.
Minnesota did it too. Something was Minneapolis, St. Paul that did it too. There was about 15 cities that did a UBI test run. And those were the big cities too. So people were they already got that plan. They just need something to enact it. And
that's
then
why
with
go ahead. Sorry.
No, and then you had that flock and the flock cameras and the ring cameras that started when they 11 days ago when they combined forces to spy on everything and upload it to the cloud. You get your 15-minute city from that stuff right there. Now you got the flock and AI cameras watching your every move. They're picking up, was Flock saying 80 million or billion license plates a month. Say you're trying to go from your house to, I don't know, your local traditional parish 25, 30 minutes away, and you're now in a city that doesn't allow you to go 15 minutes. I want to know which y'all's plan when Skynet is not letting you drive down the street. When you get to that 15-minute radius,
mm-hmm.
and your vehicle gets shut down because that's now a feature. That's not extra. That's a feature on your car, because now that they know where you live and they see you get in your ride, and now you got the flock cameras watching your every mile or so down the road on interstate, back roads, wherever, parking lots, community centers, neighborhoods. They all got them now. Colleges, all that. They know how far you've gone. How you get around that?
Yeah. I mean, we were just joking about with the Waymo, right? When they all those things are tracked, all these EVs, the reason why they come out and they promise 500 miles of range and they come out, they're like, it's actually 3, because, the batteries don't really work and all that stuff. But it's also, I believe it's also planned that they don't want you to have extensive mileage on those things, because they don't want you going far, right? They don't want you going they don't want people like me driving from here to the Carolinas.
You ain't gonna have anybody driving from anywhere to it's not gonna be anybody driving. It's gonna be John Kerry driving or flying. That's it.
Oh, Taylor Swift. Don't forget about Taylor Swift.
Or Tay. You can go to a concert if you have the right credit score, which again, what if you talk bad? You're watching a program or a show that you're not supposed to be like, but one deduction. Or there was a commercial from China the other day, I think I saw. Oh, dude, did you see about the guy getting arrested in England for putting a photo of himself in Florida?
Oh, with a gun. Yeah.
With a gun.
Shooting
He's in Florida.
Yep.
On somebody else's property, holding a gun, takes a photo, puts it up on Facebook, which again, you should never do that. And then goes back to England and is arrested for posting a photo of himself while in Florida for holding a gun. I don't know how that wasn't laughed out of the judicial branch out there, but
judicial branch
at a special level.
The English are done. The English are cooked, as the kids would say. I mean,
they're just ahead of us.
Yeah, they are. with a lot of things. And that's just, it's going to be interesting to see how the 4IR clashes with Islam, because those two things I feel like are almost diametrically opposed. Now, of course, the easy answer is Islam will go along with it because it gives them control. So that's actually, no, I should take that back. Look at places like Qatar. Qatar is essentially a 4IR stronghold that does all that kind of stuff anyway. So never mind. I'll take that back. But yes, the whole idea here, folks, is to trap the population, put the population in these places, and to make sure we're all kind of just dependent on the government, so that we can have. Go ahead.
Here's the United Kingdom consulting on the use of tech that analyzes motions and emotions.
Yep. Yeah.
Which they talked about you look at WF on the 4IR, they talk about that. They even talk about that. If you look at the video I did on the Great Reset, it talks about that. They can even there's a lady, it goes into this thing that you're at your desk. You're at a cubicle and you start fantasizing about one of your coworkers, and your brain signals are going to the boss, and the boss can do something to your screen to take your mind back. Or was it the one thing that it was bringing up? Say, like you had dear leaders making a speech, and you're in the crowd, and it can be able to tell who's on the same wavelength, or somebody that's like, that's a fifth column guy in there. He's not happy. They know, they'll figure. Man, where's that video?
Yeah, and it's really, folks, it's just about control in that regard. It's just about ultimate control.
The biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. We will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
I knew I kept that thing for some reason.
And yeah, guess what, guys? That's the guy that you elected, the one that's better than Kamala. So it is what it is in that regard.
Well, if anybody's new to the program here, we go ahead and tell them that Kamala was never going in.
Oh yeah, no. Steve and I called that this election was over. We called it in like July.
Yeah,
even before Trump got shot. We called that he was going to be installed because all this stuff is happening, and Trump gets to, he gets his things here and there. He gets his little stuff that he can do. He does his like $1 million visa entry card and all these other kinds of things. But in the end, they did it to quell the population, because it was, the population is more docile under Trump. At least the half that they worry about. The other half obviously will do whatever they tell them. But the MAGA faithful, the MAGA base, and that's why I have a feeling that JD Vance will be allowed in 2028, because of the people that pull his strings. That he's owned by Palantir. He's owned by Thiel. And so it would be, JD Vance is the easy, whoever Gavin, whoever they're going to try and run AOC, whoever they run in 2028 won't win, because they want a more socialist version of this. And that's not good for the tech bros. The tech bros want a very specific one. And so JD will ensure that will happen.
Yeah. Well, and like Colin's saying, Kamala would have been a disaster. She wasn't coming in anyway. She was just a body.
Yep.
But let's pretend that she had a chance. What do you think the cheerleaders on MAGA would do if that was Kamala's face right there? And the same thing. Kamala plans to sign a one-rule executive order prohibiting states from regulating AI companies. Complete violation of 10A, by the way. But you think, or any of this stuff, Kamala bombs 16 boats in the Caribbean. Kamala is doing ethnic cleansing, because Brandon was doing it too, in Israel. Kamala just bombed Somalia for the 115th time, which we've had. What do you think the cheerleaders like Jack and Sorter and all those guys, Benny and the Jets, And in Fox News, what do you think they would be? You think they'd be jumping up and down on all this stuff? Hey, this is good. Team MAGA. Hey, we can't wait. This is Team MAGA, make America great again. No, those same people would be losing their minds.
Yep.
But because he got in, is it just the other side of the same coin?
Perfectly
Except this is the approved version.
Yep.
Because he's
it's
the
the red
approved
version. Yeah, it's the red version.
Yeah. The other guys are, imagine Barack coming out and saying, we're going to force AI on every state and no state can do anything. You talk about, like I said, this right here. Talk about Trump invoking a good old Abe right there. You going to do it when I say? No, none of you states have a say in this. That's complete. That's the opposite of what this land of ours people like to say is built upon. That's anti-federalism right there. You want to talk about a communistic idea or mindset? You just read it right on that tweet right there that DJT is going to do. He is not a legislator, yet we allow them to legislate.
Yeah, and that's another. Well, Mark, that's the thing. Anybody who's watching that, I've mentioned it a couple of times on the show. All of this stuff will be fast-tracked on the back of an economic crash whenever it happens.
Yep.
It will happen sometime. And then all this stuff will be shooting. Oh, well, the dollar's worthless. Well, don't worry, folks. If you all transfer your accounts to Amazon, stablecoin, Amazon stablecoin is backed by the US or whatever the case may be. And then guess what? We're all on CBDC, even though Trump signed an executive order outlawing it, quote unquote. Like we said earlier in the program, it will be the private sector that initialize it. You'll have 5 different versions of stablecoin. You'll have your PayPal stablecoin, your Amazon stablecoin, your Apple stablecoin. They'll all do the same thing. They'll all do the exact same thing.
That's if you're allowed to.
You'll have the illusion of choice, Steve.
That's if you're allowed to access it.
Yeah.
All these guys on here that are texting or quoting on here, and there's a social credit score that's kicked in. Yep. You're going to learn real quick who's got a spine and who doesn't. Because many guys on here might still do it. Then you're going to have to worry about, hey, what about your family? You're going to let them starve because you want to say something? There was what I said yesterday. I think it was because of that guy getting arrested. I started mentioning, maybe get off, start scrubbing online your social media stuff. Get your photos off. Get all that stuff. Stop. I mean, I'm the same way. Going, do I have to get rid? Change up your name, maybe. Make sure that nothing can get back to you somehow, because that's going to be tracking on you to the point that you're not allowed to live. Steve, you're far fetched. 5 years ago, they shut down the world on the sniffles.
Yeah,
tell me that they can't do something.
I think I don't put anything past them, especially if you don't even have to do a lot of digging, folks. You just have to keep your eye on the way the pieces are being set on the board and the way things are being introduced. Like Steve and I mentioned stablecoin earlier this year. And what was the first thing I said on Twitter? Stablecoin is going to be the version of CBDC here. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are like, oh, and folks, MasterCard takes it. It's just being set up that way. And if there is a huge crash, if there's a huge crash, Steve, and everybody loses their money in the market, right? Like in the Great Depression, how much money was erased and never came back. Mm-hmm. And people are like, what are we going to do? And they looked at the government. The government says, well, we have something that will bail everybody out. You just need to send us. We have your social. We'll set you up a stable coin account and we'll mail it to you. And you know how many people will say, yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you. Because
I hate to pick on Colin for a second one. Dude, you got to get out of that team party politics, man.
Yeah.
The radical left is the radical right. They're both the same thing. Here's a great book right here. Just sitting here, it's called Red Republicans and Lincoln Marxists. Why do you think the color of the GOP is red? That's just to give you an idea of things right there. But they're the same party from the beginning. The Democrats from the 1860s before it, that's gone. Yeah. What happened is kind of like you see, right? There's another line right here, and then a split. They're all both progressives. The radical left and the radical right. They're both radical. They're all progressives. They're all commies. They're both going to go after you. JD comes in on 2028 or in a couple of years. Guess what? It's going to be the same group. But with all this precedent going on, say fake left comes in. They're just going to do the same thing that the fake right's doing right now, except worse. It's just what they're just a little degree difference. Some of them just don't care. They talk a good game right now. Some idiot out there saying that the left, the Democrats right now are following the line of what was it? Jefferson Davis. It's laughable because some of the guys on the fake left right now are calling for nullification, state rights. Go back to the Calhounian idea when he goes, the party, the group that's not in power automatically gets this new birth of federalism in their mind. You can't do that. It's a violation of the Constitution. But when they get in, they go authoritarian, baby. And then that team that just got kicked out, they become state rights guys all of a sudden again. It's
and all your state.
Don't worry about the team party politics. It's that messes up everything because it's Yankees versus the Red Sox, and they both suck and they both want to get you.
Yeah, the right, it's techno-fascism essentially, and the left is just socialism. So
if there was this whole line that all his enemies, Trump's enemies, are out to get him, where are they at when he comes up with all this technocracy stuff? They're hooked. They're right lockstep in this stuff. Where are they at going after Venezuela? They're fine with him balling up Venezuela. They want that oil too.
You know why? Because they need the power for the data centers.
Yeah,
they need the power.
You see this stuff that they're going, oh, when Trump goes, oh, my haters. He ain't got any haters. It's that WWF thing. They pretend they're haters, like woo, Ric Flair, him and somebody else they're all fighting each other, but they go out to dinner afterwards. No, watch when he does something that you're going like, holy cow, I can't believe he did that. And he goes, my haters. Where's my haters? The media ain't going after him on some of this stuff. The Democrats aren't going after him on a lot of this stuff. They're all on the same team. You ain't in it.
The haters are just on MSNBC fueling it for the peons, for the peasants to anger, for division. That's where the haters are, essentially, in that regard. It's a great question we have here, Steve. Catholic creators, I'm about to say something that's going to make a whole lot of people upset, but that's okay because I'm not really on the internet anymore. If you stick to a Novus Ordo view of the world, kind of like, and I'll give this example, Pope Leo, when he was asked about Muslims, he's like, Muslims can be friends with Catholics. I don't know why you guys are afraid of them. If you have that type, a Lila Rose, sorry, you guys can say, if you have a Lila Rose type of show, you're going to be fine. They're not going to touch. Oh, she's pro. Yeah, okay. She's Catholic Oprah. That's what she is. If you're going to be a little more traditional in those cases, then you may want to look into how the Chinese Catholics are working right now in the underground in China, like how they're operating, because that's going to kind of be that might be your blueprint going forward. By the way, in 2 or 3 years, you have Tim Pool saying this. You have the guy from the Quartering, Jeremy from they're all saying within 2 years, this entire ecosystem of YouTube will be gone. Your favorite Catholic creator will be gone because the AI slop will come in, and that's all that YouTube's going to push. They'll probably exist on Rumble for a bit, but the whole thing is why we always promote Steve's Sensus Fidelium app, because when YouTube finally pushes this out, that's where you're going to be able to get that content off that app. I think those things will still be allowed to exist. But this entire ecosystem where people are, they have jobs and they live off of making YouTube videos and stuff like that. I don't think they're long for those people. That's going to be an industry, Steve, that will be eliminated when AI is fully unleashed.
Yeah, they're the YouTube thing is trying to they're trying to do the more AI. That's why I'm using the AI for a lot of things, just to stay on the algorithm. It's kind of like playing the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
But trying to do some things to stay in the not to go back on principle or anything like that. Yeah. If anybody's watched anything I've said or done on shows or Clown Planet, I don't hold back on any of that. But yeah, I'm wanting to be able to pull some more of that AI stuff off if I can learn how to do it. Some of the guys won't do it because either they don't want to, or they, it's depends what their motives are, I guess. Yeah, long term, I don't think it's more about the AI part that's going to kick you out. It's going to be the digital ID and the license. If you can get because eventually they're going to have an online license for you, just like the whole thing with that's what Australia. You have to show your ID, show how old you are to even get on. Texas, I think, has a bill like that right now. They're all using that on the guise of protecting the kids. So eventually you're going to have to use your digital ID or facial scan or whatever just to get online. So it depends on how bad that gets, whether anybody will be on there or whether you'll be on there. I mean, how many of you guys ready to do that, give up your digital identity to the internet, to Elon, just to get on and watch a couple of videos? That's why, like Rick was saying, buy this book, or even buy some books from David the Good or others that talk about how to farm and how to do other things so you can get it for the cheap. Start testing some of those skills now, because maybe down the road, 5-6 years, maybe all that stuff you have to give up your, sell your soul to Skynet just to get in, or maybe I don't know they'll charge. You'll have to give up your. And then maybe you don't get on because your social credit score. There's a lot of X factors and a lot of this. I mean, you got tracking devices all over. I mean, I did a show with David with iCatholic Mobile yesterday, and he was talking about how all this stuff is, he goes, you have an Alexa in. That's recording everything you got and sending it to the cloud and sending it to the powers that shouldn't be. And they're listening in. He goes, you can go to these dark websites and it'll show you that the conversation that go in around Alexas. He goes, that's all recorded and put it up there. So eventually, say like in Betray Us back in 2012, said that your dishwasher was spying on you. So eventually they're all going to, so say like you're sitting around a fire having roasted marshmallows and you say something like, the technocrats, JD Thiel, Peter Thiel, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you got flagged. All of a sudden we know who it was, pinged off your phone, blah, blah, blah. You lost a couple of social credit scores. Bada bing, you're done on that. You're not getting online anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it will be, it will be to take a biblical term and apply it here. There will be a separation. The chaff will be separated. Those who will comply, and just like 5 years ago, people you didn't think would comply will comply because they just want as close to a sense of normality as possible. And then there will be the people that will be the remnant, the renegade, whatever the case may be, the outcasts who will have their own food and maybe not ever exist online. It's going to be very interesting because there will be a two-class system, the people that exist online and then the people that don't. Because
you say the middle class being eliminated right now, it's just pretty much all getting the elite.
There is no middle class.
And then the rest of us.
Yeah, there's no middle class. First of all, middle class was a socialist concept that was created to stake that. It used to just be these types of things, but this idea that it'll be the elite and then it'll be everybody else. It'll just be the people who are in those. I mean, they say that live in the pod. Your pod's just gonna be your house, whatever that is. Wherever you're living is gonna be. It's not gonna be. We thought it was gonna be like an actual pod, and there might be some people that live in actual pods, but your house will just be your pod.
But seriously, you're going to have to think about considering moving to a closer parish. Make sure that parish is nearby you. I mean, there's one it's half a mile or something for me, but they're all 90 years old and kumbaya and a piano in there. So they'll all be dead in 5 years.
See, that's your chance, buddy. That's your chance to take it over.
Yeah, exactly. But no, if you live by say you live by a traditional parish, move closer to it, learn to live off the land, start practicing now. See, it's not people might call it a hobby right now, but at least you hone some skills so that if and when all that does happen, and you can't go out and buy things because they won't allow you to buy things, or everything's GMO to the point that it's all fake food. Like they're talking about bacon right now, not being able to. They're talking about having bacon that you don't have to kill a pig for, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be eating stuff that's not, a petri dish stuff, bacon. So if you want your own stuff, you're going to have to be able to grow your own. I know there's ways to get around, like stuff in the sky falling down, the metals, grow sunflowers. So pull the metals out of the ground. There's all kinds of ways. You learn the stuff that can get around a lot of this stuff. Get plants in your house that can take out the toxins out of the air, because if things are blowing in from the outside, or your air conditioning unit, or if you don't even have it anymore, make sure you get you be able to have the great windows so that say you can't their AC doesn't turn on one day because of the social credit score. Make sure you have windows that are able to get the wind to go through, the air to go through, circulate the thing. Make sure, maybe find a house that has a taller ceiling, whatever. There's a lot of options. You go down a rabbit hole real quick. Get the good water. Make sure you have good water. Get a good filter system. You have something that can oxygize the water. And it's like, oxygize the water? Look up to talk about the stuff about having healthy water. It's in the minerals that go in water. Maybe you need some lava salt to go in it. I mean, there's like a checklist of things. You just keep going and going. I've gone through going, wow, I didn't know about all that. I mean, and then obviously making your own medicine, making sure you have your own first aid kit, tourniquets. What can you do? Bamboo can be used for thousands of things, building to fire to whatever. And that's why you stop worrying about the drama in Rome. Forget about these guys that are out there just talking about Rome every 5 blasted minutes. Learn something. Yeah, watching a channel about how bad the Pope sucks isn't going to help you become holy, become a saint, smarter, better, holier, whatever. And it sure ain't going to help you learn how to grow anything. You might be able to rattle off all the sins of the Pope, but hey, how can you make a tincture right there? How you can make a little medicine? Do you know what that plant is over there? Do you know how to be able to do this? Do you know some easy berries to grate? And by the way, like a mulberry tree, you can eat the berries, which come out, is the easiest berry fruit to make. Oh, by the way, you can eat the leaves. And the leaves are super healthy and help you out a lot too. Did you know that? Or would you rather care about what's going on in Rome 24 hours? Let's get your priorities straight now.
Yeah, and that's just a result of people being addicted to drama, which is everywhere, even right now in the MAGA movement. The news cycle for the last, I would say, 8 days, Steve, has been nothing more. Congratulations to Candace Owens. Whatever you think about her, she has become the #1 story for everyone, for everybody, and everything. And we're going to talk about this very quickly, only folks, because it is a dominant story. It's so much that Axios had a story on it, talking about, the MAGA movement's in free fall because Erica Kirk is now fighting with Candace Owens. And Jason Whitlock, of all people, he has this thing called Harmony where he talks about outside issues. He doesn't talk about sports stuff. He has a separate channel called Harmony. And he just was like, listen, we're in Jason's still like new into the political scene. So he's in the left-right paradigm. It's like, we're in a war right now politically between the left and the right. But he did say, it was interesting. Look at the right has descended into chaos because women are leading the fight. And right now and Candace has every right to do whatever she wants on her show. She wants to talk about like mystery Egyptian flights and shots and things. And guess what? She has a YouTube channel. People have the right to watch it. The fact that the entire right wing has fallen head over heels with this and everybody's fighting and everybody's taking a side. Meanwhile, I could care less. I don't care about either one of them. I am not. That's a great thing about not being addicted to two-party politics, guys. When you're not addicted to it, you can just stand back and be like, this is absolutely ridiculous. What in the great Googa Mooga are y'all doing? These are just two women fighting. And it's just the Streisand effect that they've done to Candace Owens is incredible because they keep talking about it. So people keep talking about it. Just like let her go and leave her alone. If everybody didn't talk about her, nobody would care. But you guys keep emphasizing. Tim Pool, he's now going off on her. And it's just like, can you all just not do this anymore? And I know you people don't like Pearl, Pearly things. But she had a good video yesterday. Said men are just going to walk away from politics. If this is how it's going to be, if it's just going to be dominated by women and fighting between all of these other kinds of things, then now I will say this: Tim does go on his show. He does like to gaslight people by putting out tweets like that, and he's like, these people monetize my Twitter account because I put that out, and people yell at me in the comment section. So I will say that. But this whole thing between Candace and Erica is, I don't care about either one of them. First of all, I don't care about Turning Point USA. So that's probably one of those big reasons why I don't care about it. And B, it's just, you know what it is, Steve? It's just a beautiful distraction.
It's a big distraction. And I'm for Candace bringing the whole thing down. Do I agree with everything? Do I put my endorsement behind everything she says? No. but I like what she's doing, and and I'm behind with a lot of what she said before, and I haven't watched more than 5 minutes of her programs because I already knew about all that stuff before. She just has a gigantic platform compared to me and everyone else that is doing it. And I'm glad she is, just because somebody has to do it, because something nefarious went down, and it wasn't some 20-year-old kid. And she's over to Target making these guys go absolutely loser. My Tim's losing it on her. He actually said that Candace was the reason why Charlie got killed. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of fun. Like, and you're right. Whitlock nailed that on thing about the women just running, because it's all emotion. It's led by emotion. No one's wanting to talk about facts, even though TPUSA was coming out with the Superman theory long ago, and all this other stuff.
His bones were so strong, it stopped the 30-06.
Yeah. But you got the Israeli guys going in and doing all their thing with the Eighth Front War, and they made someone goes, well, who's profiting? I go, well, shoot, TPSA profited huge afterwards. They've started getting money coming in left and right. How come we can't ask questions? Glenn Beck crying on his show again.
Again. Well, it's a Glenn Beck show. It can't be a Glenn Beck show without him crying about something.
Mr. Be able to question everything. His quote from long ago still does, I think. Question even the existence of God. How about TPUSA? Nope, not questioning that.
Next question. The famous next question.
I have a question about Kirk. Nope, you're not allowed to question that one. He's cried more than Erica's.
Well, from the great movie Varsity Blues, Glenn Beck cries because Glenn Beck's a crier. So it's just one of those things. I don't want to give it any more time than that, but it's just a distraction, folks. Don't. It
is, because again, imagine if these guys were talking about Flock or the Flock ring or the surveillance state or anything else that's going on. Like, hey guys, this is bad. It's coming down. Oh, we got to focus over here for this.
Yeah. So it's textbook distraction, and it's just one of these things that you can fall for it, but you don't waste your time. There's no reason to waste your time, and
it goes back to
it's just internet drama. That's what YouTube is for.
Yeah. It's just like the Pope says something like what happened. I don't even remember what happened. A week ago. Everybody was losing their mind about it. Go, dude, I don't even know what. I think I told you this. I have no idea what even happened. Does it affect you at your zip code? No. So why give it a second? Did he do some kind of infallible statement that affects you or something? Did he ban you from going to heaven? Or no. Why do you care? Hey, let's listen to an hour-long show about something that has nothing to do with you. Again, it goes back to, all right, are you worried about what's going on, which is coming? Start getting prepared for it. Start focusing on something. How maybe like right now, here's some kidney bean seeds. Here's pinto bean seeds. There's black seeds, green bean seeds. Waiting for the summer to get here or the spring so I can plant those down. I got some other seeds here. Here's a fruit that just grows all over the place. Can't wait to put those in. I got some strawberries in the fridge right now. Let's put that in a couple weeks ago. Get ready to put that on the heater in another week or two. Got my apple trees still about yay big right now. I need to put them in a bigger thing. Figure out something that actually is productive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and if you really want to, put your headphones on while you're in the garden and listen to Candace, right? You can do two things at once.
Yes. And when I listen to podcasts, which are usually never a Catholic podcast, I'll listen to Father Abernathy. That's the only one I'll listen to outside of on my channel because he's great. Yeah. But it's when I'm doing other things, working out, working in the yard, something like that.
Yeah. If you're driving, just something, don't just sit there and consume it, because that's what they want you to do. They just want you to sit there and consume. Just want to sit there and consume product. So just stay away from it. And that's all we're going to talk about as far as Candace and Erica, because it's nonsense. It's nonsense, and it doesn't need to be worried about. The last thing we have on the thumbnail, so I want to make sure you guys at least hear about this. The Supreme Court is actually preparing to hear Trump v. Washington. This is the case that could redefine the constitutional meaning of birthright citizenship for the first time in a century, which that could be pretty crazy if they somehow find the 14th Amendment is the reason to strip birthright citizenship or whatever the case may be. I have a feeling people are going to get their hopes up, because I have Amy Coney Barrett is going to smack this thing down faster than you could actually read out Trump v. Washington. but it's a very it's an interesting case that is being brought up. So at stake is whether the president can unilaterally narrow the citizenship clause, which I don't know how he can narrow a clause that was never actually supposed to be used this way to begin with, because everybody knows who's not a moron that the way the 14th was written was to be pretty much retroactively applied to slaves. That's essentially what it was. It was retroactively applied to slaves here. It was not meant to go forward to anybody and everybody that just kind of like stumbles over the border and births a kid. And then all of a sudden that kid's like, oh, congratulations, you're a citizen. What's your name? My name is Juan. Okay, well, fantastic. Now your kid's a US citizen. Like it's an absolutely ridiculous thing. I don't think the SCOTUS is going to overturn it because, Steve, we need people, right? The population is not, we failed to reproduce enough of our own, people. We don't have a birth rate that can sustain the machine of capitalism, and immigrants are the only way to continue that. So I don't think they're actually going to overthrow it for that. I don't think they're going to overturn it for that reason.
It'd be fun to see the 14th get eliminated for it, but no, that yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't see it happening as well, but it'll be 5-4, I think. It'll be a landslide.
No, it'll be either Roberts or Barrett that says no to it. That'll be the vote on no. But it's out there. I know people are getting jacked up and jazzed about it here, and it's going to be the most important decision in the history of the SCOTUS. No, it's not, because SCOTUS isn't. Yeah, they'll pretty much Alito and Thomas pretty much forced this thing to be looked at, but everybody else is just going to go, nah, nope. I don't think this is. It's right. It's not fair, Steve, to those who come here. Like that has anything to do with anything, but that's it. There's going to be a multitude of reasons why it'll be overturned, or it won't be overturned. I'm sorry.
Mark said he never heard of the father. I just for you, buddy, I put in the link to his podcast. You will die before you finish all his podcasts. It's got that many on there.
Yeah. Another good one that Steve sends me all the time is Brian McClanahan. Brian McClanahan is a fantastic one to listen to.
Yeah, you want to listen to what's going on politics-wise from a good Southern perspective and how things are. That's the right thinking in a sense. Yes, that's the way to go. I mean, I thought his thing on Fuentes and Pierce Morgan's show, he did a review of that. I thought that was a good one.
It is interesting to see how Gen Z is going to play a role in this, because Gen Z is a fed up, frustrated, angry generation that nobody is paying attention to. I've actually two of my last interviews, John Slaughter and Joel Enders, both mentioned Gen Z a lot, because John has kids and Joel he's big in that movement. He knows a lot of people in that movement, and it's a lot of angry young men that are listless. They're leaderless, and it'll be interesting to see how that ferments in the next couple years. So yeah, that'll be an interesting take.
Well, I thought it was good. It was also a good point that Brian brought up about Fuentes was a second generation American, so he wasn't. They have no blood in the beginning, and he's from Chicago, so you got a northern. It goes north, but both the guys are Catholic guys. I didn't know Morgan was a Catholic guy. So you got northern 1700s era guy talking to another 1700s era guy. So he's coming from a centralist mindset. And he might be thinking of XYZ, and a lot of people might be liking what he says, which all media has been saying long before Nick ever did it. He does it in a way that attracts people. People are attracted to cussing and shock jocks. Nobody in all media, no one I live, the Corbett, Ryan, Christian, all those guys, they don't come out saying Hitler was cool. They don't say stuff like that. No. They don't tell everyone to go blank themselves or anything like that. They might not be believers, but they have a decorum that they don't cross that line and things like that. So they don't get a lot of views. Some might, depending on the topic, maybe. But Fuentes, yeah, he's still a centralist. So you got a guy that's looking at a strong centralized government. He's just talking about somebody different.
Yeah.
So you're still listening to error in a sense. Might like it, but it's error.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
It shakes up the foundation. And for me, it really does show like how most people don't have any idea what's coming with Gen Z. Most of you, because he represents, in whatever you think about him, he represents that coming of that group.
I represent the lollipop kids. I like pop kids.
But Steve, eventually they're going to be the ones in control of stuff.
I know. Hopefully, I'm long and dead by that time.
Yes.
It's like that millennial song. Remember that whole thing, man? At the end of it, millennials, look, could be running this. Oh God, the millennials. I can't remember the line of it, but it's the light bulb goes off. Holy cow, they're gonna be running this stuff soon.
Yep.
Yeah, think locally, act locally. That's why we're trying to educate people more and more about it. So yeah, that's not the right way.
No, it's not. But that goes back to people being desperate. People being, no hope. And I think I said on this program before, I didn't say it. I said there's one or two ways out of this for young men. It's either the church or it's radical centralism. It's one of those two ways. And so hopefully more and more decide that the church is the option for them, because if not, it's going to get bad anyway. But for their own soul's sake, it's
pray, hope, don't worry, like we all say. But just give you an idea of things. You're just not give you some food to think on, chew on, in a little sense. I mean, like I said, I got invited to do a lecture on Lent on the Holy Face, so I'm going to blackmail everybody, leading everyone up to it, the history beforehand, and then here's why it happened. It's not just going to be all sunshine and lollipops. I'm bringing the ugly to that one.
Yeah, it is what it is in that regard. So that being said, saint of the week and your cry room.
I'll go with the Once a Future King DJT on the cry room for saying I have no problem releasing a video of the second Venezuela boat strike, and then 5 days later, I never said that. This is ABC fake news.
Yeah, always fake news.
Always really? Fake. Okay.
Yeah.
You tie it, and then people just let it go. It's comical when he can get that. He could probably shoot somebody in the middle of the White House right now, and his base would love it.
100%.
Saint of the week, besides our man Brian had said something about Ric Flair, the guy that won this bet.
Yeah. I've seen that one. That's pretty funny. Made her wear the Chewbacca. It translated, right? It actually did the Wookiee noises.
Yeah.
That's great. The cry room, I'm going to put the conservative movement for falling for the Candace Erica spat. It's pathetic. And it really shows how social media, YouTube, and all that stuff, not Steve, because Steve doesn't actually do a channel. He just posts videos. But the guys who get into it, the guys who do these things, you see how, and Jason Whitlock brought this point up again. He should be, how social media and YouTube feminizes men. It teaches you, because you have to be emotional and you have to do the goofy things and you have to kind of lean into all these other kinds of stuff. And we're seeing that with the Candace Owens Erica debacle, and how all the dudes are just falling in line behind either one and picking a side instead of just standing up and saying, will you two just shut up? You two just shut up and go away. Let Erica go do Turning Point and Candace talk about like a mystery, whatever. Go talk about like Bigfoot or something. But my saint of the week, this will be controversial, but that's cool. Okay. Milo Yiannopoulos on Timcast on Friday, where he did not carpet bomb. He tactically nuked the entire conservative movement. The entire conservative movement from space. And even if you don't believe any of it, God bless Milo for being the showman that he is. And by the way, the guy claims to be heterosexual. He's got to stop lying to himself. He's got to stop lying to himself on that one. God, I pray for Milo. He says he's a Catholic. He defends the faith. He's always been super solid on defending the faith. And if you don't believe me, there's a clip of him and Joe Rogan like 10 years ago where Joe Rogan is screaming at him that he can't follow Catholicism. And Milo's like, it's the one true faith. It's the one true faith, and you have to believe it. So always give credit for Milo, always a staunch defender of the faith, even though he is riddled in sin like we all are. Yeah, see, the comment section already doesn't like my Milo pick, and that's why I did it. So that's it for this episode of News from the Pew. Please like, subscribe, and share the News from the Pew. I want to thank you guys all for hanging out with us this week. We will talk to you all next week. Yeah, because Christmas is on a Thursday, I think, in 2 weeks. So that'll be the one time where Steve doesn't come on the show. That'll be the one time Steve doesn't do a show that day. So we'll see about that. But we will talk to you all next week. And from my partner in crime, bye everybody. Bye. God bless. Viva Cristo Rey.